Don't say any F's and stuff.
Blazing the steel. Bring the heat. Mix it non-stop. With the hottest DJ.
I'm your host, Joshua Diaz.
Non-stop.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna
the
do
boys.
what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? It is to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to...
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
What's up?
But I have to
Let me
put
see here.
her- But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
Let me just fix that title. Because somebody said, oh, did they find the car? No, they didn't. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the driver of the car that they're looking for. I'm talking about the guy who gave the girls a ride home, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. Amy King, what's going on? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. It is. We are really... Josh, I heard you were arrested. No, definitely not. Let's see. Let me see here. Change this. Josh, I heard you were arrested. Yeah, I heard nobody likes you. That was a good one. Nice. Let's see. Red. Good. Hey, how is everybody doing? Good to be here. Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and it is fantastic to be here. It's cold. It's late. It's whatever you want it to be, whenever you want it to be that. And I want to give a shout out to the nurses on night shift who are, they love the show, which is great. So I just wanted to say, shout out to the nurses. Very nice. They get to listen. They get to listen to the show when they're doing their thing, which is like saving lives. I think. Let me see here. Where was that? Chat, highlighted chat. There it is. Beautiful. And I'll change the color of this because It's not working. I know. I know. Come on. Just let me try. Always a mess. Always a bride, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. What's going on, everybody? Good to be here. Good to see you. How are you? Is everybody ready for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa? Or, nothing if you don't celebrate, I can't, it's weird because I do know that there are a lot of people that do not celebrate any kind of holidays whatsoever. And of that, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't seem like such a terrible idea, although the spirit of Christmas, to me, is important. And, so let's see. Can you absolutely get whoever that is out of here? I don't know who they are. I just don't want them in here. They told me that I got arrested. I didn't. Just go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. Guys, I was messing. I don't think so. I think you're a troll from another channel. And you know what we do with trolls from other channels? We just go hang out with yours. Go hang out with your peeps, dog. Just go do it. Don't come over here. Let's see. 858-299-2504 is the number to call. Thank you. Please, if you would like to call, feel free. Have a take. Don't suck. That's kind of the only thing that we really ask around here. The lab, he said he was kidding and he didn't mean it. Lulu, he said, it's sad you lie about these cases and that I got arrested. So you tell me. I'll take you. I guess I'll take your word for it. Let's see here. But yeah, so if you hit the line and you don't have anything good to say, then, you'll just get this. One of my favorites.
You don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
I'm not going to the library tonight. No library tonight. Not tonight, folks. No library. But what we are going to do is talk about, so the driver that gave the girls a ride home that night where we saw the video, as he has come out anonymously, which I don't know, which is fine. I don't care about that. And if it were me and I knew any of these people or just lived in the area, I wouldn't want people knowing who I am either. Can you imagine? Seriously, just imagine being accused of doing something awful, heinous, with very little with very little explanation or very little tangible evidence, actually none really, none whatsoever. And it's just it's getting out of hand. So much so that now a TikToker is being sued by, I believe it is a professor. And if you want a clear case of just absolute defamation, Josh got his hairs done. That's true, I did. That person's probably getting so much back. Wait a minute. Did I miss something here? Hope you're okay after the shaker, and hope you're having a Merry Christmas. I think I am having a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We are finally above zero in Colorado. It's balmy 5 degrees here. Good Lord, someone crack a window. It's getting hot. Let's see here. And my hairs are looking good. Thank you. It is a man bun. It's a man bun, and I know that man buns can be negative, and I am just kind of at the point in my life where it's like, well, I have hair, so I'm going to grow it. I like that idea, but I also like to get my hair cut, so I've kind of compromised kind of in the middle here somewhere. So, green screen of lab for his cell. No. There's another LE body cam video out there. Cop is talking with Kaylee in the daytime back in September after the big prior night bash. Such a beautiful, sweet girl. No wonder parents are crazed with despair. Yeah, absolutely. I can completely understand that. But I don't want to miss that. So, Kim, thank you very much for that super chat. And Amy King, you're not a new member, Amy. I know that. And Victoria, yeah, I am doing all right. Everything's going fantastic. Retired nurses rock. They can, especially like nurses are, they just have patience, and that is not a pun. I'm just saying, I've just over the years I've seen nurses just get treated incredibly bad by doctors and patients and family members, and I don't even know what that means. I have no clue what that means. Does anybody know what that means? Hello, everyone. I'm just getting here. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. We lost power. I know, that's... All right, so let's just get here because I don't want to get distracted by anything. Because I get distracted by everything. I don't just get distracted by anything. I get distracted by everything. Not just anything. Remember that. Here, let me fix this and blah, blah. God. I don't even know why I learned StreamYard or Streamlabs. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, but bottom. Told you, Lulu. What do you want me to do about it? There's nothing I can do. Thank you so much. And now I'm blocking the number. I don't want to do that either. It's just absolute chaos right now. Let me put this to the side. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, News Nation says here, the Rideshare driver who brought Kaylee Consalves and Maddie Mogan home before they were murdered, shared exclusive details Friday with News Nation. With News Nation about the drive home. A total of 40 days have passed since the killing of the 4 University of Idaho students and suspect. A suspect has not been named. The driver told News Nation he's replayed that night every single day. I have a good memory. I have a very good memory. I wasn't followed. There was nothing weird. There was absolutely nothing strange about the street. The driver told News Nation's Alex Capriello there were no people in cars and with their lights on. It was just normal. It was normal night up on Greek Row. I mean, you could hear the thumping from the frat houses down the street, but that's pretty normal. The driver is one of the few rideshare drivers in the city of Moscow, and he said he knew the murdered girls. He had driven them home. He had driven them all home in the past. The police apparently did not call him or seek him out after the murder. However, after learning about the murders on the news, he called the police and turned in digital information, including time receipt from a Taco Bell to clear his name. I wonder if he got a Mexican pizza, but you know, that is odd to, I mean, I'm really glad that he went in by himself, but good Lord. Yeah, I do. Look at this thing. This little man, it's like he's like a little guy. He's like Elf on the Shelf. Let me see here. Boom. Look. Here, I'm going to make myself a little ornament. Ding da da dong, ding da da dong, ding da da dong. What is this? Mexican pizzas. They're really good. Okay. The driver is one of the few ride share drivers in Moscow. He knew the girls he had driven in the past. The police apparently didn't call him. Okay, we're past all that. He was never named a person of interest and was cleared immediately. Right away, like immediately. So, you know, you can say whatever you want about that. I'm very happy that, you know, he did that. He called and told him, but it's just like, let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Jeannie says the police already had his info, but I am sure they appreciated him going to them. Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I mean, you would hope that it was appreciated, and I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was appreciated. But, you know, as this case moves forward and 40 days in terms of an investigation, unless you're listening to criminologists from around the world saying if you don't solve the case in the first 48 hours, which isn't true at all, it's get a lead within the first 48 hours, then, yeah, finally figured out the sticker thingy. The sticker thingy? What's the sticker thingy? All right. Let's just, oh God, Banfield. Can anybody handle Banfield? Well, too bad.
Home murders and the breaking news tonight, 40 days into the University of Idaho murders, and the driver, who was likely the very last man to see Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez alive, is speaking to News Nation tonight.
Awesome.
The Uber driver who brought the kids home the night of the murders, Kaylee's family reported that their daughter had indeed ordered an Uber, and now the man who drove them is revealing exclusive details to us about that ride home and what the girls said in the back of that car. News Nation correspondent Alex Capriello is live tonight. He tracked him down. He joins me from outside the home in Moscow. That was a very difficult task. Tell me what you found out, Alex.
Yeah, I was able to find this rideshare driver. He's one of only about 4 here in the Moscow area. So I was able to track down that phone number and give him a call personally, speak to him. I asked him point blank, hey, are you the guy who drove Kaylee and Maddie home that night? And to his credit, he was very transparent, very honest, very open, almost immediately with me.
Well, understandably, he has said, Alex, that he is very concerned. It's a small community. He doesn't want to be on camera, but he was very revealing in what he told you about that ride home. Start there. What did the girls talk about in the back seat?
Well, he said that it was actually a rather innocent conversation from the beginning. You might remember that he picked up these 2 girls from that grub truck. It's the food truck that's located right in downtown Moscow. And really, he said that was the center of their conversation. The entire 5-minute ride home was about their mac and cheese carbonara that they were planning on splitting when they got back to the house. He said that he's picked them up in the past, not only these 2 girls, but Xana as well. And he said that in the past, they've talked about boys and drama and college life, but not this time around. It was just a very normal, innocent conversation about their food and how they were going to share it when they got home.
So that's also revealing that he knew them. He had them in the car multiple times before. This is a small town. So if they've taken an Uber a couple of times, it would be likely that he'd be the driver. And he said, indeed, he knew them. He knew all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He said that obviously as one of only about 4 rideshare drivers in this area, he picks up these girls a lot. And not to mention, we already know that this is so close to frat row. And of course, we've reported that this is a party house. So a lot of times students would come here. And so he said that Xana, that Kaylee and Maddie were no strangers to them. He's given them rides home from the bars, home from work, home from school. So he knows them. He has driven them before. But back again to this, he said that there was nothing out of the ordinary that night, that right now or in that moment that it was just an innocent conversation. Of course, the frats were bumping on a Saturday night, but here at the house, it was quiet and he saw nothing out of the usual.
So as you reported earlier this week, Alex, the last thing that we heard on tape was the surveillance camera showing Maddie and Kaylee walking from the Corner Club bar to the grub truck. And the only thing we could hear was, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And then Maddie responds, I told Adam everything. Was there any conversation in the back of the Uber car about Adam or the bartender? Because Adam turned out to be the bartender. Did he mention anything like that?
Yeah, actually, the rideshare driver said that he knows Adam. He knows he's a bartender, but Adam was not brought up once at all during that conversation. Again, no conversations about boys, drama, or any trouble. And as far as what the girls were feeling, he said they were not fearful. They weren't skittish in any way. But back to the food truck, also, I asked him about that. Hey, you were right there. Did you see anything out of the ordinary there? And he said, no, it was a Saturday night at the food truck. A bunch of college kids hanging out, ordering their food before heading home. You know, I brought up another person a lot of people have speculated about, the hoodie guy he's been referenced as. He said he didn't see that guy. He has no indication that anything was wrong there at the food truck, and certainly during that entire rideshare home, no indication that anything was wrong there, rather.
Okay, then what about the police? Because clearly I would have imagined the police have a lot more, machinery and technological ability than sometimes we do to track people down. I assume that the police would have found him and that they would have talked. What did he say about being able to tell everything he told you to the police?
Right. Yeah, this was super interesting to me because he said that he didn't hear about the murders until the next day. And he realized, oh, my gosh, these are the 2 girls that I had driven home and I've driven home in the past. And so he was stewing on that for a little bit. But he was the one who eventually turned himself over to the police by calling the tip line saying, hey, I was the one who drove these girls home. The police tells the rideshare driver that they already knew he was the driver, but even still, he was the one who called in himself and said, hey, I was that guy. That being said, when he did that, called the tip line, he turned over all of his GPS coordinates from that night, sharing that he went to Taco Bell after dropping the girls off and then went home. And so that's the reason why he was cleared almost immediately, never been named as a suspect or a person of interest, because all the data that he provided to the police proves that he was not there at this house at the time that these murders allegedly happened.
So the other question is, as you are standing almost, I imagine, in the same spot where they were dropped off, did he mention anything about the drop-off that was unusual? Anybody in the parking lot? Did he drive into the parking lot? Did he hear something, see something, pass anybody?
Ashley, the only thing he said was that he heard the frats doing their normal partying, but everything else seemed quiet, seemed normal. There were no headlights. There was no one following him. He says he's got a great memory, and he would know whether or not anyone was trailing him or if there was anything suspicious at all. As far as the drop-off, he said that he brought them right up the street here on King Road and dropped them off here at the foot of the driveway. He never pulls actually into the driveway because he says, based on his training, he always wants to be able to have a quick getaway in the event that something bad happens to him, like he gets robbed on the side of the road. But he dropped them off here on King Road. He watched them get out of the car. He did not watch them physically go into the home, but he said that he trusted that they were going to be safe because he's driven them so many other times, and he knew that these two girls were together.
It's, you know, obviously, I don't think, well, I wouldn't say obviously. I don't think that he has anything to do with it. I mean, if he's coming forward the way he is, then that is, you know, a great thing. But at the same time, that's what people are supposed to do. They're supposed to come forward. And by the way, that's what's happening with this white car. Basically, they knew that this person, whoever it is, isn't going to come forward. And I think they were just kind of trying to reassure their thoughts is, you know, hey, well, you know, we just want to see what if they do come forward, maybe they're not hiding anything, but the fact that they'd be on that road at that time and the police saying, you know, we're sure that they have some sort of anything, something, anything, anywhere, you know, crickets. Well, that is, I don't want her seat.
Just so distressing. Finally, we knew it was coming. We imagined it would happen shortly, if not, you know, already, and it did. Someone is being sued over what's being said on the internet. So tell me the story. What's happened?
Yeah, this is a really interesting case that's happening. It's the very first one that we've seen. You know, we've seen Moscow PD draw a hard line saying we're not going to stand for internet sleuthing in which innocent people are thrown under the bus here. And that's exactly what we're seeing. In this case, it's an University of Idaho professor by the name of Rebecca Schofield. She is suing a TikToker, Ashley Giard, who has posted more than a dozen videos on TikTok alleging that this University of Idaho professor had a role in these murders. Specifically, the allegations are that the professor hired someone because she had an intimate relationship with one of the victims. The professor, of course, says that this is completely false. She sent a cease and desist letter to the TikToker. That was at the very end of November, but still throughout the month of December, these TikTok videos just keep coming up, pointing to her specifically and saying that she is the one responsible for these murders. So this is the very first case, Ashley, where we're seeing a civil lawsuit being filed right now that's saying someone is defaming my character, and this is just simply untrue.
You know, I just got a copy of the lawsuit here as well. I'm just looking at it. She says that this TikToker posted more than 40 times calling her a murderer, just flat out calling her a murderer, just saying awful things and basing a lot of this, I think, on tarot cards, on reading tarot cards. So,
welcome to our world. Tarot cards, come on. I'm not talking down on tarot cards. I don't even know what they are. I swear, and don't explain it to me because I don't want to know. And I don't know if they're real. I don't know if they're fake. I just know that they're cards. And I don't know how they work. If they're anything like Pokemon, I have some idea of how they work. Dungeons and Dragons. But, you know, next is a Ouija board. It's just, Come on now.
So I don't hold out a lot of hope for the TikToker on this case. And
yeah, they're gonna get the bejesus sued out of them.
By the way, I'd also saw here there's 2 cease and desist letters. She gave her 2 chances.
I know, and what a nice lady to tell her, hey, like, you know,
to
stop. And then she keeps going. And now, you know, she'll probably end up with her life insurance policy or something.
Stop. I'll be curious to see if the police follow through, because they have been threatening. If you do this, if you harass people, if you defame them and call them murderers online, unfoundedly so, you're going to face potential criminal action. So, I mean, have they said anything? Or, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's only just happened with the civil case, but have they said anything about the criminal yet?
Well, I certainly wanted to know the answer to that because we did see them draw such a hard line. I reached out to the Idaho State Police about that, seeing if we're going to see criminal charges being filed against this TikToker because it was such a big deal. You know, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation that have been occurring all about this case. A lot of people that are into true crime that are trying to piece it together themselves. And inevitably that leads to false accusations. And so I asked the Idaho State Police about that. Are we going to expect criminal charges to be filed against this TikToker? I'm still waiting to hear back, so we're going to keep an eye on that one, Ashley.
Yeah, do indeed, because that's just appalling. I mean,
and if you don't do a good job, Brian Enton is back out on a plane in the next 30 minutes, okay?
Honestly, tarot cards leads you to 40 different TikToks calling a professor a murderer. I think
you know, one is fine. It's cool. Just only if you do it one time, you know, apparently. I mean, how many chances does somebody need? What proof do you have? Tarot cards are not proof. I'm sorry. They're just not. I don't even know what they are, and I know they're not proof. I swear, I have no idea what those things are. I've heard of them. I don't know how they work. I have no freaking clue what they are. But, like, you know, next is a fortune cookie.
She's also said in her lawsuit, Alex, I've never met any of the students. And
oh, my God, it gets worse. Imagine, like, you know, look, if it was a professor where they actually, like, had class and everything. With this professor or whoever the hell, wow.
I've never met this YouTuber or this TikToker, and I think she was out of town. She wasn't even back in town till the day after the murders had happened. So,
sounds like she's a few cards short of a full deck. Let's see. Tarot cards don't give you the name of suspects. Jeez, what do they give you? Yeah. No, they are. They are real. They're real. Like, they exist. They absolutely exist, but you know, what I need when I'm hearing something like this is heavy detail. I'm not getting heavy detail. Tarot cards or fortune cookies, yeah, they exist. Like, people use them just like a Ouija board or a seance or an exorcism, you know, whatever. But it doesn't give me the heavy detail that I'm looking for.
I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
And, you know, this accusing random people who have never even met the students, making 40 TikTok videos about it, you know, just... There's just no, you know... But no, fortune cookies don't bring the heavy detail.
I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
And I don't even know if they're actual. I don't even know if they're actual Are they like really cards, like a deck of cards?
I could go into heavy detail.
I need heavy details.
And
Okay.
I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
Dina 81. I have an 8-ball, a magic 8-ball. I got it off of Amazon for $19.99. I dropped it, and now every time I shake it, it's like fuzzy, so I can't really tell, so I just like make it up.
I could go into heavy detail.
It's not heavy detail. I know that. It's not heavy detail at all. But if I could, I would go into heavy detail.
And I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
I don't know if they're real. Do you remember that? Does anybody remember my magic 8-ball that I bought on Amazon? Anybody remember that at all? I remember it. I certainly remember. Hello. Kayla, tarot cards aren't real. No, I don't think so. My friend used to play a game called Hearthstone. Maybe I'll ask him about it. Maybe he'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Magic 8-ball was 20. Did I overpay? Now it's a 7-ball dented on one side. They're real, and yes, they come in the deck. Like, when you say they're real, because everybody's going, oh, they're not real. They're not real. I mean, I know. And by the way, I want to respect everybody's, like, culture of, I know that psychics abound, and can somebody please explain this to me? You got ripped off with the magic 8-ball, whatever. No, I didn't overpay. I paid. Thank you. I love your hair too. Like Ouija boards and stuff like that, those things scare the hell out of me. Okay, so make it make sense coming through in a major way. Phil Farminitino, what up? It's a deck of cards in which each has a general meaning, and when you read them all together, it creates a general picture. However, they do not name suspects. Okay, well, look. Tori, I have heard about the truck. I don't know. I really don't know anything about anything that involves the truck or tarot cards or whatever. Ouija boards scare me. It's supposed to be a tool for psychics to use, but I don't know how accurate they are. I mean, where do you buy them at? That's my biggest question. Where can you buy tarot cards at? Is that a thing? Like, you can just buy them anywhere? Now, I don't know if you can or not. I had one of the Ouija boards. No one would play with me. Good call. And literally, I wasn't allowed to take it in anyone's house, so I threw it out. Smart all around. Tarot cards used to give you guidance. Okay, here we go. In the spiritual matters, only things that can stand in divine white light can come through if you use them right. Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to go to like a shaman or something. You don't have to take ayahuasca and float down the Amazon to get some secret tarot cards or whatever. Carrot cards? Carrot cards or tarot? I don't even know what a tarot is. All right, I'm going to look this up here because let's see. 78 tarot cards for $27.99. Let me see. Carrot cards. Are there carrot cards too? Oh, tarot. Not even I don't think it's tarot. I see tarot. Not tarot. Not that it matters, but I think it's pronounced tarot cards. It's spelled tarot. And you're right, it doesn't matter. And Vroom, you come with the heavy detail.
I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
And I appreciate that on a molecular level. Or submolecular or okay, let's watch this because this will be interesting. Then we can discuss it afterwards.
Backstabs the killer, she's not going to live up to her promises for him.
A TikToker and self-proclaimed internet sleuth sued for defamation after she repeatedly claims a University of Idaho history professor is responsible for the murders of 4 students. So
she didn't even come up with a decent suspect either. I don't mess with anything in the spiritual realm. Ever. Joss Larkins says, forget the tarot cards. Does anyone double check to make sure there isn't a Brian Popsicle somewhere in Moscow? I think he's back in the studio, probably dealing with some sort of, I would imagine, frostbite. I mean, whipping boy for days. Good reporter. Ashley's mean.
How strong is this professor's case? I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome.
I'm not saying that they're evil. I just don't deal in the supernatural. I don't like The Exorcist. I don't like Ed and Lorraine Warren. They scare me. I don't like spirits. I am terrified of that kind of stuff.
Welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar.
I don't do supernatural. I just don't. I don't even like those movies because like they could be real, but like I don't know. But it scares me. Like The Sixth Sense. When I used to watch The Sixth Sense, I thought after I watched that I was going to walk out into the living room and that I was going to see what the little boy saw hanging from the ceiling. And I'm going, okay, so how would I get rid of that? You know? How do I get rid of that one? How do you unring that bell? It took days. Why would the police not called him in to question him? I don't know.
Our podcast. Imagine waking up one day and finding out that there's a TikTok page basically dedicated to calling you a murderer. That happened to Professor Rebecca Schofield of the University of Idaho. She is a history professor there, and Schofield is suing a woman named Ashley Gillard for defamation after Gillard posted more than 20 videos.
I can already see the crazy. Like, I can see it. Trust me. Real recognize real. I see the crazy. We're different crazies, but I can see it. There's a tarot card for you.
Videos accusing Schofield of taking part in the murders and having a relationship with one of the victims. Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were all murdered in an off-campus home on November 13th. Schofield says, to her knowledge, she's never met any of these students, and she's never had any of them in her history classes.
Unreal.
Right after the murders, Ashley Gillard.
Oh my God! Look at 105,000 followers. Oh my God.
Started posting TikTok videos about Professor Schofield, claiming that she partnered with someone else to commit these murders.
What the heck, man? Are you kidding me?
According to Schofield's lawsuit, her lawyers sent 2 cease and desist letters to Gillard, but she didn't stop posting about her and claiming that the professor was involved in the murders. Kermit Roosevelt is a constitutional law expert and a professor at the Penn.
If you were to ask me what this guy does for like a living, I would say he's a constitutional expert. Not sight unseen, I'd look at him, but like the one guess, I would have got it right.
Penn Carey Law School at the University of Pennsylvania. And he's also the author of The Nation That Never Was, Reconstructing America's Story. Professor Roosevelt, welcome to Sidebar. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me.
What are your thoughts as you look through the TikTok videos that you're seeing?
What are your thoughts on tarot, pronounced tarot, cards? And if you want, talk about carrot cards too, carrots and stuff like that, carrot cards. I'm trying to think, like, what could a carrot card be? And by the way, carrot cake, not so good.
On this woman's page.
Well, my main thought is something has gone wrong here.
You think?
This is a bad situation.
You think?
It's bad for the professor.
You think?
Who is having these accusations made against her. It's also bad for the person who's making the accusations, who's
you think
subjecting herself to significant legal exposure. So it suggests to me that social media has introduced new dangers in our society.
Dude, I'm telling you, true crime is done. It is done for folks. I'm telling you, it's coming down the pike. Just embrace it. I mean, it is going. They are not going to allow this stuff anymore. Like I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
And we should maybe be thinking about ways to mitigate those.
I find that to be an interesting point because I think people don't understand or may not realize, or in some cases may not care, that what you say on social media is the same as you writing it in the newspaper. It's the same as you posting it anywhere or speaking it. This is a forum where somebody's reputation can be damaged. It's almost like TikTok to me is the wild, wild west here. People have gone crazy with this case. Talk to me a little bit about what your responsibilities are as anyone posting on social media.
Well, as you said, it's the same. So communication over social media, communication over the internet, that's real. And I
bet you he's read, if not written, every one of those books behind him.
Probably everyone is familiar with the phenomenon where people are less inhibited posting online. They are meaner than they would be normally. They're more extreme. And if you're anonymous and you're just flaming people anonymously, then I guess it's limited.
This is we'll get back to this here in a second, but Ann Vroom asked, where's Coy Boy? He could explain it. I don't know where Coy's been, but like after I had that earthquake, he like wished that California would fall off into the ocean or something. And I haven't seen him since. I thought we were friends. It's funny too, because like I was like, oh yeah, real funny. And then he goes, lighten up. I just went through like a catastrophic earthquake with no power and, couldn't get a hold of a bunch of people. People are talking, oh, California's going to fall off into the ocean. Well, that would be good if you're a koi fish, fresh water, because the salt water wouldn't be kind to you, my friend. And I hope that I'm going to get a couple tarot cards right now, okay? And I'm going to see if I can get a couple of your kois to turn on each other. Then we'll see who's talking, koi boy. Huh? Where you at?
Limited, and the harm that can follow is limited. But if you're doing this publicly and you're disseminating your speech to millions of people, potentially, you could be causing massive reputational harm. And the things that are being said on these.
Yeah. So koi is like a, Koi gets a bit out of pocket, he's, sometimes he flounders.
TikToks are certainly defamatory. There are allegations of involvement in a crime and allegations of professional misconduct. So there's a potential for very serious reputational harm. And then, as I said, you can't just say that about someone if it's not true. And I know of no evidence suggesting that it is true. So there's very significant potential defamation liability for the speaker here, too.
I think it's important that we note this isn't just accusing Professor Schofield of murder. She is saying that she was romantically involved with one of the victims.
Unreal.
Professor Schofield says that's not true. I've never met these people. To my knowledge, I've never met them. I've never had them in one of my history classes. What does the professor have to prove here in order to win this case?
Well, this is a matter of public concern. Obviously, the public is very interested in this case. So it's not the best case for a defamation plaintiff. But Professor Schofield is a private individual. She hasn't inserted herself into this controversy. She's not a public figure. So constitutionally speaking, she could recover on a mere showing of negligence. So she has to show that the statements are false, that they are defamatory, they injure her reputation, and that the speaker was negligent in not learning that they were false and in expressing them anyway.
What I think is interesting about this is that there are commenters on some of these videos who say, where are you coming up with this stuff? And it almost seems like this.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at, they're plotting another. Wow.
Ashley is obsessed with this idea. And she is convinced that it's true. In my viewing of some of these TikToks, I'm astounded at how many there are and the ways she's discussing this and justifying her position. And I wanted to ask you too, you were saying that the professor is a private individual, which I find interesting because if she were a public figure, it would be a higher bar, of course. You'd have to prove actual malice, but there's no argument to be made as a university professor that you were in some way, shape, or form a public figure.
No, she's not a general public figure, and she's not a limited purpose public figure either. So if she had inserted herself into this controversy and said, I know who the murderer is.
It's not a controversy, but...
and then someone else had said, actually, I think it's you. Maybe she'd be a public figure for that purpose. But as far as I know, she was just trying to stay out of this. She didn't have anything to do with it. So you can't reach out and take a private individual and thrust them into the limelight against their wishes without them doing anything and then say they're a public figure. So she has all of the ordinary protections accorded to private individuals.
We've reached out to Ashley Gillard, and as of this recording, we haven't yet heard back from her. I also reached out to Professor Schofield directly, and her lawyer sent a statement. I want to put that up on the screen. It says, the statements made about Professor Schofield are false, plain and simple. What's even worse is that these untrue statements create safety issues for the professor and her family. They also further compound the trauma that the families of the victims are experiencing and undermine law enforcement efforts to find the people responsible. In order to provide answers to the families and the public, Professor Schofield twice sent cease and desist letters to Miss Gillard, but Miss Gillard has continued to make false statements knowing they are false. Thus, this lawsuit became necessary to protect Professor Schofield's safety and her reputation. What does this tell you that this Ashley is continuing to post even after?
So this isn't even something where they're kind of beating around the bush, saying, well, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're just flat out calling her a murderer and having an affair with students at the school. That's nuts.
After receiving cease and desist letters.
Well, it seems to me that she's not acting very rationally.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. We really appreciate that insight. Hey, so there used to be this guy around town. His name was Mark the Bum, and it's like all the kids, like if there's any, this is Lab After Dark, all right? But, in high school, all the kids, not me, of course, would pay Mark the Bum. That's what they called it, Mark the Bum. Money, and he would buy you, not you, me, or anybody like that, but, other people heard from around the way that, you could maybe pay him a couple bucks, and he would hook you up, maybe, at some point. Not me, but, but we might as well ask Mark for his advice. Mark the Bum, if you can, please call in. The number's 858-299-2504, Mark.
Honestly, because based on what I know, this seems like a very strong lawsuit, and refusing to comply with cease and desist letters puts her in a worse position. So it looks to me as though she is not,
oh my God,
calculating the costs and benefits to her of this behavior. And, this is sort of the problem that I started out with. The thing about social media is it makes everyone a publisher. It makes everyone able potentially to reach a very wide audience. And we used to have gatekeepers. So I could have, 20 years ago, written an op-ed accusing some private individual of involvement in some notorious crime. Say the O.J. Simpson case, I could have said, this professor somewhere is the real killer. And I could have sent that out to the New York Times, but they never would have published it. So it never would have reached a lot of people, my own musings about the case. But now certain things go viral on TikTok, and it's hard to predict why. And someone coming up with accusations.
Yeah, we know exactly why, Beth. The tarot cards, it's French. The T's silent. So that's another thing. The T's silent at the end, but it's not silent at the beginning, or they would be called arrow cards.
That don't really seem to have any foundation can suddenly reach millions of people.
I'm somewhat surprised that there hasn't been some type of criminal complaint taken here. This almost seems like it could reach the level of harassment. I don't know if you believe that, but it seems to me that this is harassing this professor.
Well, so I'm not sure exactly what the crime there would be, and there are significant free speech protections for even, encouragement of illegal behavior as long as it's not imminent. So I think that's probably a harder road to go down than defamation. I mean, defamation, this looks like a very strong case to me. Criminal liability, I think, would be harder. Now, sometimes you could get a restraining order.
That's an interesting point. But it just seems to me that this is just really obviously crossed a line.
Yeah, no crap. Let me see. The crazy part is she has multi-millions of views. Yeah. So here's the problem with that. Yeah. Can someone tell me her name? I'll bring her up. And by the way, this is for educational purposes only. This person is mentally ill, and either that or they are, for some reason, trying to secure the bag. Amy's a fan of the man bun. I appreciate it. Do you know, and I still get made fun of for it by a lot of people, but like, it was overwhelmingly negative when I first started, and then I just like kept pushing through. Like, you're gonna love this hair, or you're just gonna hate me. Pew. And I'm fine with either way. Delete it. Phil, they're not going to let you through with the F words in the chat, but I appreciate everything you say, and I love when you're here.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But, all right, so just report TikTok, they're private companies. I mean, I don't know, man. What if TikTok got sued?
I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
It's all right, dude. Just abbreviate. You know what I mean? It's all good. We're all friends here. Cheek pinching Granny says, what do you call an obnoxious reindeer? Rudolph. What? But his name's Rudolph. If his name was just Dolph, then you would call him Rudolph. But then the whole Rudolph thing wouldn't exist. I'm going to have to think about that one a little more.
And again, we reached out to Ashley, and she hasn't yet responded to our request for comment.
Oh, really?
Professor, I want you to tell us, before we wrap up here, a little bit about your book, The Nation That Never Was, Reconstructing America's Story. What's it about?
Oh, thanks so much. Well, so it's about American identity and
Okay. No offense to this guy, but I would rather play soccer with a beehive than listen to what he's about to say about his book. No offense. Sure, none taken. He's smarter than I am, you know what I mean? He's smarter than I am. I know that for a fact. That's easy. So does anybody know her name again? Is Coy Boy now Granny? Nah, Granny's been around. Kayla, thank you very much for the $49.99 super chat. This is very nice of you. Thank you, Kayla. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho.
All right, somebody tell me your name again.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho. Ho. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant. Where? Okay, but I can't find, okay, got it. Oh, man. This should be interesting. She's going to make me miss the professor. Ashley Schofield. It's all right. Okay, so this is where she gets sued.
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about. I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win.
What'd she say?
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win. Oh my God. Killer Rebecca is suing me.
Oh, wow.
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win.
Are you kidding me?
I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members contact me, and I'm warning y'all, if anybody contact me buying into the BS online from fake pages that I'm crazy, I'm gonna block you in real life, and I'm never gonna unblock you. I've seen people in the comments suggest that
I mean, then something good would have came out of this. This is worse than I thought.
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win. Oh my God.
Is that a filter?
Killer Rebecca is suing me.
Killer Rebecca.
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win.
Wow.
I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members contact me, and I'm warning y'all, if anybody contact me buying into the BS online from fake pages that I'm crazy, I'm gonna block you in real life, and I'm never gonna unblock you. I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members contact me, and I'm warning y'all, if anybody contact me buying into the BS online from fake pages that I'm crazy, I'm gonna block you in real life, and I'm never gonna unblock you. I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members contact me, and I'm warning y'all, if anybody contact me buying into the BS online. Hey y'all, no worries, I'm okay. Please don't be offended by the comments. Don't let them get to you. These are fake pages or Killer Rebecca's friends. Let it go. I'll be home soon. The reading that I did on his arrest and her arrest, two totally different readings. It looks like he will be put to justice way before she does. They will be slow in arresting her. She's gonna first go to another job. She's gonna leave her current job and start writing. She's gonna focus on her writing and she's gonna isolate herself. So she's gonna leave.
Oh.
That's after she backstabs the killer. She's not gonna live up to her promises for him. I mean, she can't. So it's a change of plans. That's when she's gonna get out of Dodge. She'll be isolated in some like cabin or a house somewhere. She's gonna focus on her writing, her books. She's gonna get a lawyer, but she's still gonna lose her case.
Are those the cards?
She's gonna go to jail while her trial is pending. The final verdict.
She's going to go to jail while her trial is pending. What in the hell is going on here?
Will reveal that she's guilty. A lot of people were asking me to check to see what Kaylee, Maddie, and Adam was talking about. Kaylee talked to Adam about her and Rebecca Schofield's experience and the subsequent breakup and how she felt like she had been played and betrayed. She was talking about.
Is she serious? Like, she's not serious. Like, this is a troll move.
How she was trying to encourage Rebecca to live in her truth and also to be spontaneous. She said that Rebecca was supposed to end her marriage. It seems she told Kaylee that she was in a rut, that not only was she experimenting with women now like Kaylee, but the reading that I did on his arrest and her arrest, two totally different. I think the reading that people just don't get it. Like, I've been against people, big and small corporations and giants and systemic policies and racism in one. I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually gleaming with excitement. I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually.
What is going on?
Okay, so I spoke too soon.
Why does it keep doing that? I hate TikTok so much.
So I was getting the message that Rebecca Schofield and Jack the Pool was planning another attack on someone. And so it did seem like, I'm like, are they trying to attack me? Was the question.
I mean,
I think it was.
Honestly, and I don't promote violence in any way, shape, or form, but like, that's exactly what somebody someday is going to end up doing. And all over stupid TikTok or Facebook, YouTube. It's nuts. If this Ashley person is correct, like, if she is being authentic, if she really, truly, 100% believes this, then she should be committed and checked out and not allowed to walk.
So anyway, Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour comes together and she talks about me and how I'm a problem that needs to be solved. She asks him to solve the problem of me and my insights and putting it on social media and getting her caught. She was really upset about the part where I said her marriage is for convenience and she didn't want no marital problems, so she wanted to get rid of me, saying that what he's going through or what I'm doing is temporary. She's going to get rid of the problem. And she paid him for his previous work for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, some type of financial compensation. He then takes that and instead of springing into action to get towards me, he pauses a little bit. He suspends action and he starts to reflect on those around.
Like this somewhere, somehow, some way. This isn't doxing. This isn't petty, this isn't any of that. What this is nothing more than slander to the nth degree. Now, we're not talking about, he gave out my address, or, he told people what kind of car I drive, or she inferred that may have something to do with the murders. None of that. That's not what any of this is. This is flat out criminal, and I don't know how how you could charge somebody for something like this, but you would really, really, really hope that you could. Because, it's criminal. So if she's not mentally stable, for real, if she's not mentally stable, then she needs help. If she is mentally stable and doing this just for the fun of it, then she should go to jail.
Also, I need to do it. Also, have y'all noticed?
I hate.
So anyway, Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour comes together, and she talks about me and how I'm a.
I hate TikTok. It's okay. Let me go down here. I've never seen anything like this. Wow. Look at all these.
So the reason why Rebecca Schofield had access to this white vehicle is because there was somebody in her life who had just completed college, a semester or something, and was on a break and came home to visit to recharge. He could have been finishing with school. He could have been finishing with a job. Something had just completed and he was just home visiting. When he was in the bath, Rebecca Schofield sneakily took the vehicle.
Sneakily.
So when he was in the bath, she immediately left.
Can I get a confirmation on if sneakily is a word or not? I truly don't know. But if somebody could get me that information stat, it would make me feel better. I don't know if sneakily is. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's not, but my grasp of the English language isn't exactly top notch.
Again, the reason why she needed to fly off and leave is to make sure that Jack DeCour finished the job properly. The issue was that it was two different groups. The four that were ultimately murdered, Kaylee, Zana, or Zana, however you say her name, I'm so sorry. Kaylee, Zana, Zana, Ethan, and Madison.
I don't even know their names.
And the group that was hiding. It was a big job, and she just needed to give him the extra security to see it through. But he left the two alive, so he didn't finish the job all the way. So all six could have got it. So the reason why Rebecca Schofield had access to this white vehicle.
So sneakily is a word. Adverb. Sneakily.
Is because there was somebody in her life who had just completed college.
Whatever.
Semester or something and was on a break.
It's not.
And came home to visit to recharge. He could have been finishing with school. He could have been finishing with a job. Something had just completed and he was just home visiting. When he was in the bath, Rebecca Schofield sneakily took the vehicle.
Really?
So when he was in the bath, she immediately left.
Julie doesn't want to listen to her, but yeah, is it snuckily? Spirits are cool. I love paranormal. I have various crystals. A bit of a hippie chick. What do you call an apple being thrown at someone, a fruit punch?
Again, the reason why she needed to fly off and leave is to make sure that Jack DeCour finished the job properly. The issue was that it was two different groups. The four that were ultimately murdered, Kaylee, Zana, or Zana, however you say her name, I'm so sorry. Kaylee, Zana, Zana, Ethan, and Madison. and the group that was hiding. It was a big job, and she just needed to give him the extra security to see it through. But he left the two alive, so he didn't finish the job all the way. So all 6 could have got it. So the reason why Rebecca Schofield had access to this white vehicle is because there was somebody in her life who had just completed college, a semester or something, and was on a break and came home to visit to recharge. He could have been finishing with school. He could have been finishing with a job. Something had just completed and he was just home visiting. Okay, so here's a brief synopsis.
So basically what she's doing is she sits at home making stuff up. That's really all there is to it. Making stuff up, right? And then she like $75,000 is nothing to her. And I'm sure she's going to lose because, I mean, this is the clearest cut case of defamation that I've ever seen from the outside looking in. I don't know anything about litigation. Maybe we'll have Tom Mortati come on and talk about it. Civil attorney extraordinaire. That's right. Tom settled the biggest medical malpractice suit in the state of New York. Close to 20 mil on a gallbladder surgery. What do you think he would do to you? I mean, this is a civil litigating defense attorney's nightmare. And prosecutor would love this.
Of why this white vehicle is important in an investigation in the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. So remember I told y'all that Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour communicated heavily that night to make sure that everything went as planned. There was some concern about the job being too big, too many people being there. So the white car was there to make sure that everything went as planned and also to offer security just in case it was needed.
Wow. Wow, so she's just nuts. I mean, that's all this is. This is just psychotic behavior. We found somebody worse than you know who, and that's hard to do. This is nuts.
So the person in the white vehicle...
All right, shut up. I don't want to hear you anymore. You say the same crap over and over and over again. And over and over and over again. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the phone lines. I just had 3 calls and I dropped every single one of them. If you want to call it, I just leave it up there. If I'll get to you, I'll get to you. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get caught up. Sometimes I'm talking about somebody who does tarot card readings or arrow card readings. If the T's are really silent, you can't discriminate. That is T'ism. All T's are created equal. I just pictured all T's are created equal. And that's true. Done with her clicking pays her. Yeah, well, doesn't matter. She's not going to have any of that money by the time she ends up in court. I just picture Chef Dizzy juggling fire for her. So then why doesn't she show her cards? I mean, I don't know. Because she's just she's a fraud. And if she's not a fraud, then she's mentally ill. And trust me, we're different kind of crazy, but that is, if she's, I just cannot state this any more plain. if she's serious, my God in heaven, and if she's just doing this, then it's one of the worst things. Call in 858-299-2504 is the number. I'll pay attention if you call. People get scared sometimes, like, to call in, because sometimes I'm like hyper at first, like I'm shot out of a cannon, and they think that I'm going to be mean to them or something. I'm never mean to anybody unless you make me mad, and then I'm mean to you. And I wouldn't even say mean as the actual word. It's just, don't make me pull my Raro cards out on you. That's what they're called, Raro cards. All right? France. Raro cards. That's what we're going to call them from now on. Can we call collect? No. You have to pay. You don't have to pay. Yeah, I will. I'll be mean to somebody. Trust me.
Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son. All right. Get off the scale.
That's true. I will. I have some cards right here. Josh is snarky. I disagree. No, Otis or I'm getting. Please don't. Yeah, because I just, whatever. Erote, Pig Latin. Can we call telepathically? No. No, telepathically is closed. And you wonder why people don't call in. People call in. What are you talking about? People call in all the time. Sometimes I forget to answer. That's the problem with it. It's not that people don't call in. Most of the time I just forget to answer. That's just how it happens, dude. Whatever. You wonder why people don't call in. Hold on. Actually, I don't even know. Okay, caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Seems like you wanted to talk to somebody.
Well,
I'm pretty good.
Yes and no. Depends what you want to talk about. So what do you want to talk about?
I thought we were talking about this TikTok woman. This TikTok woman is she looks a little crazy eyed, and she's definitely off her rocker.
Yeah, for sure.
I just wonder, can they not charge her with fraud?
Well, I think that she does have, unfortunately, some constitutional rights. Okay. Now, that constitutional lawyer that we listened to told us absolutely nothing. No offense to him. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, and I loved his headphones, but she was kind of looking for, what kind. He didn't seem to think that there was a crime.
But she's using these stories to make money from people who are watching her videos. So it seems like that they're slandering people to make money. If she wasn't slandering people and actually creating damage, she would just do that. Would be free speech. Well, I guess it's still free speech, but it just doesn't seem right that you could be able to make money off of telling lies about people.
Right.
I guess people do it all the time, though.
Well,
they do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's just I have been under the impression for some time that at some point some sort of legislation is going to be introduced that will prevent people like this discussing these cases from a monetary standpoint, probably. And I've heard that this is something, you know, and this is just, I don't know how, when, or how they're gonna. Let's see.
But she doesn't say it like she's speculating. She's saying it like she knows this.
Even if you're
like this has happened.
Well, even if you're speculating, right? It's super dangerous. But you're right. She goes much further than.
Like, I've never heard you say completely foreshort anything that you don't know for a fact. And most the critters that I watch don't. I don't know about other people.
Well, see, that's the thing is that not only do I know nothing, I admit it.
Right. And that's why I trust you.
Yeah, people always go, who do you think's the killer? And I always go, I don't know. Who do you think did it?
Right.
I don't know.
That's the way I am.
I don't know. I have no idea. Dude, what's your gut telling you?
I have no idea. Exactly.
I really don't. Like, if I had an idea, if I even had like a gut instinct about any of it, I probably still wouldn't say who I think did it. But I don't know who did it. Nobody knows who did it. People can speculate all they want, but all they're doing is just talking. Nobody knows. And oh, listen to this. Jessica says, if it turns out to be the professor, I'm not going to apologize. No doubt. Me neither.
I agree.
But I would think that she would be safe under TikTok's policies. I don't know about that. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know what the policies are, but I do think that legislation's coming. Uprising agrees with me. I think legislation is coming, and it's coming fast because, I mean, this is the first big lawsuit in some of these cases. A lot of people threaten lawsuits. A lot of people say that they're, going to do something or sue somebody. Until somebody actually gets sued. Well, there you go.
Right. But she's saying she's laughing at $75,000, and that just rubs me the wrong way. I know that might not be a lot of money to some people, but that's quite a bit of money to us.
She doesn't, trust me, she doesn't have $75,000. There is no way that a TikTok account, gets paid that kind of money. I kind of know what social media makes, and unless she's a trust fund baby, she's just running her mouth. There is no way that she wants to go to court, and I don't care if you're rich. A $75,000 hit is gonna suck. And if she is rich, maybe they'll take her for more. I don't believe she is.
Well, they'll probably find that out in discovery and stuff, I hope. I mean, I don't know much about lawsuits. I've never sued anybody in my life, but or been sued, knock on wood.
Nobody's ever threatened to sue you ever one time?
No, not really. I've generally not gotten any confrontations with people.
You're a nice person. But see,
well, I try to be. It gets me in trouble a lot of times.
By being too nice?
People mistake my kindness for weakness sometimes, and that's not, I've ran into that.
And then you get...
so I try to...
She looks at it. She looks like she has a nice home. Yeah, it looks like it's about worth $75,000. But I truly think that this is kind of the end of the road here for the true crime community. I swear, I've thought this for some time.
I hope it's not, because I think speculation's great, and talking about the cases and stuff, I think it brings attention to them. But I think that if you say that you know that this person did this and they were in this relationship and her she was married and her husband, she was not, and all this stuff that this girl was saying, it's just crazy. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you go after somebody's life like that you don't even know?
Let me present you with a scenario here. Say two small animals are in the house by themselves, and then, you know, you come home and there's a dump in the kitchen, right? Somebody took a dump in the kitchen.
Right.
And you have two suspects, okay?
Right.
And you question both suspects, and both of them deny it with their eyes. But one barks at you after and then runs off, right? I suspect that if the barker, runner, offer may be the dumper, okay? But I can't prove it. I'm not sure. I mean, you know. And yeah, that
so
happened.
What do you do?
I don't know. I charge everybody.
It's happened to me with my dog. I just screamed at both of them and told them, "Do you see this? Do you see this?"
Well, yeah. When I do that, then
and they both look.
They just look.
Yeah,
at each
they
other.
just look away like, no, we don't see you.
And I'm not
going
to say which one barked at me, but his name's Macho, and he like. I said, the funny thing was, I said, "Who did this? Who did this?" And then he goes, and you know, nobody. They just kind of looked, and then
of course
I kind of zeroed in on little Macho, and all of a sudden he barks at me. I take one step forward, and then he took off.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, speculation, and I'm speculating that he's the one that did it, but I don't have proof of that. Otis could have laid the trap and set him up. I think Otis is capable of pulling like a massive undertaking.
Oh, I guarantee it.
You know, because he's like,
of course,
he's like
it's his power.
He's a turd.
His superpower.
Then they blame the cat. Problem is, I don't have a cat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And if I did, Murray says, your dogs are adorable. Right. Sure they are. I mean, they're sometimes they're adorable, and sometimes they're... What is your name in the chat again? I want to put your name in here.
This is Live America.
Yeah, I knew it. Yes, They definitely need...
And like a hick.
Well, they definitely need to do something. I know that. What is YouTube and TikTok and all of them going to do? I don't know. But it's going to be something.
Right. Well, it just needs to be something where we can still talk about and speculate on other cases, you know, particular, but, you know, and this one also, but they also need to, like, shut down if somebody is absolutely saying, I know this person did this, and that's just dangerous. It can get people killed. I mean, somebody might try to take revenge or something, you know?
I do it all the time. Wrong. I mean, you can only, you know, people can only take so much, right?
Exactly. I mean,
what she's doing to this lady is criminal. It really is. I just don't know what crime.
Criminal. Exactly, and it's just wrong. It's putting her in danger and everything. Because I mean, I guess that's the reason I've never been threatened to be sued, because I've tried to, you know, be nice and I've never really, you know, I was a nurse before I retired and everything, so I've never really been in a profession where I'd be sued that much.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know about other people, but I guess it's according to what profession you're in and stuff. I just never had anybody that had a lot of threats, you know, threaten me or anything with it.
Yeah, I mean...
But that don't mean it ain't going to happen. I just hope it don't ever. I mean, I'm sure it will one day. Nobody gets out forever.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'll tell you that right now. Well, yeah. I appreciate you calling. Thank you. And I didn't have to, like, yell or anything.
Oh, I know. You're so nice.
We're still...
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We're still early. Take care. Thank you for calling.
Well,
appreciate
you have time to get grouchy.
What's that?
Bye-bye.
What's that? Say that again.
I said, I appreciate it. You're not yelling.
No, never.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Steven says, some people push their noses in the dump they have taken. I would never do that, ever. Because I like to kiss my dog sometimes. And every time all I would think about was, sorry, not up to speed about it. What is criminal about what she's doing? I don't know. Something. It's got to be something. I mean, you tell me. You tell me. I mean, you're accusing somebody of hiring somebody to murder people. There's something there, right? Something there. No, it doesn't teach him anything. She said, appreciate you not being groggy. I don't know what that means, Tori. I'm trying to understand what that means, but I don't know what that means. I would never hit him, more like yell at him softly. That's not going to happen. Harassment. Yeah, there's stuff out there. There's got to be something. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the law. No, thanks. I'm good. Carrot cake is not yummy. Just seems like a restraining order is what's called for, and if Gal violates that, she's off to the clink. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Even if it isn't illegal, it sure the heck is way wrong. That's true. Victoria says, I love laying here watching the lab, cuddling with my chubby puppy biscuit cozy. Chubby puppy biscuit cozy under my heated blanket. Well, we appreciate you watching and listening. And always appreciate that. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I just wanted to call.
Say hi.
To tell everyone, can we all take just a minute to step away from true crime and have a very Merry Christmas with your loved ones?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. So I lost my dad a month ago, and we're going to be -1 this year. So everybody take a deep breath and just hug and love everybody in your family and just have a very Merry Christmas.
Well said. Well said. I hope that you have a Merry Christmas. I know the holidays are tough for a lot of people. It's tough. I completely understand. You never know. I mean, I think about that a lot too. Who's going to be here next Christmas, or who isn't, or and I've experienced those first Christmases, and what I would give to, like anybody else, to have another Christmas with a loved one that's not here anymore. So I'm really sorry that you're struggling.
Well, we didn't have a clue, but so you just never know.
That's true. That is true. Are you? Do you have big plans or no?
No, just I lost my dad, so we're gonna support my mom.
And when was that? I'm sorry.
A month ago.
Wow. Yeah. Right before Thanksgiving.
Yes. On November 20th. Yes.
Oh, so okay, so yeah, so right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's there's obviously never a good time, but I mean, if you don't mind me, and if you don't want to answer, I understand that too. How long were your mom and dad married?
62 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
But everybody needs to spend time, just take a step away, spend time with your family, give love, hugs, happy holidays. Is my message for you tonight.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate that phone call. I know that isn't going to be a very Merry Christmas for you, but I do hope that your mother and your family can find some sort of comfort the rest of this year and going into next year. It's awful. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to send my love to everybody, and I love your show.
Thank you.
I love your chat.
Thank you.
I just want to spread some love.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Josh.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a great reminder. I know that we're watching this person or whatever talk about this professor, and we make light of the situation, and for the person that's going through this, there's nothing funny about it. The person that is dealing with this, their family, their husband, wife, cousins, uncles, aunts, it's terrible what's going on here. And I'm reminded that there are people out there that do not have plans for Christmas, or that do not have family anymore, or they're the last of their family, or something has fractured in that someone's family, so on and so forth. The holidays are bittersweet for a lot of people. They're stressful. It's just a little bit of everything. I personally love Christmas. I like the ambiance of Christmas. I like the spirit of Christmas. I like the lights and the cold and the snowman and all that stuff. I love all that different stuff. But it's not lost on me that there are a lot of people that are struggling and going through something. So for that, we do need to be mindful. We certainly do need to be mindful. That's a great reminder. Yeah. Big warm hug to that caller. I lost my mother November 16, 2019. I'm still lost, confused. I have 2 sisters, no kids of my own, and they have their own families. I understand. Josh, maybe if you bring your uncle and your sister's client, you can have a spirited time just like Thanksgiving. I think that I'm sure that somewhere, somehow, that's in the works. I don't know. I swear to God, I hope not. It's true. D says, I love it every year, just not this year. Completely understandable. We may miss our loved ones here on earth, but they're always in our hearts. I ran into a friend today at the store, and he had just lost his mother on my birthday, which was the 15th of November. We've been friends since, I don't know, grade school, and now we're a couple of old chaps, but I was very close with his family and his mother and father. His father died many years ago. He's 38 years old. And I remember saying to him today, as he's telling me about the final moments with his mother, that I said, you're 38 years old. At 38, would you have ever imagined that both your parents would be gone? And he was just like, no, never. Never, and I said, yeah, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, but the spirit of Christmas is real. The story of Christmas is beautiful. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I don't know. To me, it's just supposed to be a special time of year. And for some it is, and for some it really, really isn't. I lost my mom December 20th, 2008. She's always with me, and not by carrot cards. Carrot cake, maybe, but not by any dang carrot cards just to lighten things up. My mom always likes a joke. Are you insinuating that you are summoning your mother? I'm just kidding. I'm not going there. Sorry. Love and prayers, especially for all of us who have lost loved ones. Also, for those who are alone this Christmas. Tell us a story. I just did. I think I did. I literally just told a story, didn't I? I don't have any stories. Tell us a story. It doesn't quite work that way. Like when I'm telling a story, like I have to be inspired. And then that's when the story comes out. Let me see. Anything else? You know what? I think that's about it, folks. I appreciate you guys being here. Merry Christmas to everybody. Christmas Eve for some, and it's right around the corner for others. I think it's actually about to be Christmas Eve. Wait, we're at 11:59 here on the West Coast. At midnight, it will officially, yeah, I don't need no, I don't need any of that. Let me see. A story when I was 8 years old. How would I remember that? Let's see. Is it not still 11:59? This is the longest minute in the history of minutes. Come on. I'm sitting here. I'm hanging on the air. I'm hanging on the air. And 11:59, 11:59, 11:59, 11:59. Come on. I mean, seriously. This is a cruel joke. There it is. 12.
Oh. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho,
thank you guys very much.
Ho, 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 ho. ho, ho. Ho. Ho, ho, ho.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
It's not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and worry
I'm
about
gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
It's not, really? It is to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
It's not, really? It is to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
Make sure to comment. I'll